Hi, my name is Kyle Aldrich. I'm a PGA golf instructor. What I want to show you is how the coaches can really utilize the Grind Golf app in a lesson format. All right, Joe, so tell me about your last tournament.
All right, well, my score was okay. I was hitting a lot of greens, but I wasn't making putts. Putting was really bad. I think I had 36 putts.
Okay.
Hit around 12 to 13 greens. So I really feel like my putting really killed me.
Okay.
Overall.
So now when you entered your statistics in the app, now the biggest things I'd noticed when I pulled this up and I was watching that is we could look at putting as a bad thing, but you know, out of what do you think PGA Tour average from 15 feet is? Like how many do you think they're making?
I don't know, like 35% of them.
Yeah, that's pretty close. The best guy on tour is making about 40. The worst guy on the tour is making about 10%. Okay, so we got to look at our odds. So if you're hitting shots where your average distance to your first putt on this thing for that tournament was about 35 feet. Yeah. Okay, so if we look at that and you know we're two putting everything from 35 feet, I look at and we hit as many greens, that's actually pretty darn good putting in my opinion. You see what I'm saying?
I was lagging a lot.
So the other thing is the two putts we had when we did miss the green, you know, we could look at that like you didn't make the putt, but I'm looking at, again, the average distance to the first putt when you didn't hit the green was about 10 feet. So again, your chances of doing that is more 40%. So I'm looking at that like we got to get your chips closer. You know, your short game shots, when you miss the green, we got to get those closer. So I wouldn't necessarily put that on your putting. You know what I mean? That's the nice thing about this is when we look at your statistics, we can kind of really dial in where you're losing it. So I mean, we could go work on your putting all day long, but if you're not getting that ball within, you know, 5 feet or 4 feet, on especially a pitch shot, your odds are going to be way down to get that up and down. You know, so you're hitting greens and two putting, that's great, but we got to make sure when you're missing the green, you're getting up and down more so we get that score back down to par or subpar.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay, so let's go to the short game area then. What you saw was a great example of how you, the coach, can use the grind in a lesson format. The great thing about this is you're pulling up all these statistics and information right on the spot as your student's walking up to the tee box. Instead of most of the times we have to spend countless time and waste lesson time trying to get this information from the student when a lot of times it's not accurate, which is really what inspired me to create this app. Is I wanted definitive data on what's happening with my students when they're not in front of me. So the great thing is you have a web panel that you will keep track of all your students. You will see all their statistics, averages over 6 months' time. You will see individual scorecards and what they did in certain rounds. You will also see what they practiced, how long they practiced it. So you'll have a log of all this. And the great thing too is you can actually set your own challenges and games for your students, and you're creating practice plans for them if you would like to do that. Otherwise, the app is going to recommend it based on their playing statistics. The power you have as a coach with this app is unmatched. The best thing is I'm giving this to all coaches and PGA instructors for free because I think it's such a good tool to build this game of golf and get your students playing better.